Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Toy. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Guatemalan inspired worry doll using plastic bags. So all you'll need, you can see my one example here. So we just need a couple plastic bags that you would use from the grocery store and a pair of scissors. If you have extra fabric or yarn, you can also use that just in place of the plastic bags. But I'm just going to show you using our recycled materials today. So the first thing that you need to do is I have two bags here. So there's one and then there's another one on the inside. So you want to stick two bags together and kind of flatten them out the best that you can. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut off the handle part. So I'm just going to come through here and cut that off. Now we can now use this as extra fluff to stuff in the head of your worry doll or as ties. If you have yarn, you can of course use the yarn to tie back your pieces with. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these into some strips to pretend that that's like yarn, and then we can go ahead and start tying everything together. So I just have this here that we can use then as a tie. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take some of this, and I had some scraps from my other one. I'm going to go ahead and take that and kind of wad it up into a little ball, and I'm going to put it, I'm going to open up both bags together, and then I'm going to put it in the middle at the top, or I guess at the real bottom of the bag, but where it's a seam. And then this becomes the head of your worry doll. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of those ties, and I'm going to tie that around the neck. Again, if you have yarn, you could, or string, you could do that. So I want to loop it once, and then I want to tie it tight into a knot. You can leave these extras here and just tie it down when we do the body, or you could cut off the extra ends. It's up to you. I'm going to just go ahead and leave mine. So now I'm going to go ahead and kind of open it back up. I have the head at the top. Open this back up, and I'm going to move over the bag that's on the inside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut up like that. I'm going to do the same thing to the side. So I move that bag over so you can kind of see it's fluffed there in the middle. And I'm going to cut this side. So it almost reminds me kind of like of angel wings. Like that. So these will become the two arms. This will become your body and legs or dress, depending if you want to do a girl or a boy or not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this up just a little bit higher. Okay, so here's the arms, which will shorten later on, and here's the body. If you have different colored bags, so I have a tan bag here as well, we can use the different colors. So you can see I used white for the body, and then I added some of this tan bag on top. So if you have different colors of bags, that's great as well. So I'm going to use the other half of the tan that I had before. I'm going to loop it around the head of my doll, kind of like a scarf. And there's a couple things you could do. We could crisscross this and form an X like that, and then you can tie it around the back. Or for the one that I did before, I just left them straight down, and I took a separate tie, and tied it for the waist. So it's kind of up to you what you would just want to do. I'm going to do mine the crisscross way, so it's different than my other one. So I'm going to crisscross. I'm going to flip it over. Oh. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around one more time, and I'm going to tie it to the front. Oops. Okay, so I just kind of crisscrossed that around, and I looped it once, and now I'm going to knot it so it stays nice and tight. Now sometimes, again, we're using bags, so it's not perfect. I have this little kind of loop here, or like piece here. If you can't get it to stick back in there, you can just come through and kind of cut that off. So now again, I have options here. I can either put these down and have it be part of the dress or the pants, or I could cut these off. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in with the legs, when I do the legs here. Okay. Just gonna kind of get that to go together. Now we're gonna work on the arms. So right now this person has really, really long arms. So you can do a couple things. We can fold this in half, or kind of in thirds there, and do it like that. You could cut off the extras, so it's the length that you want. It's totally up to you. I want my arms to be a little bit thicker, so I'm gonna go ahead and fold it into thirds. So I'm gonna fold it there, and then there. And then again, I'm gonna take my extra pieces of plastic and I'm gonna tie that arm down. So I'm gonna cut this in half, so it's a little bit smaller. And I'm gonna tie it in two places. I'm gonna tie it here, kind of where the armpit would be, and then I'm gonna tie it down here where the hand will be. So I do one loop, and then I do a second one to knot it. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Oops. Loop it, I'm gonna scoop that down, and knot. Okay, and then again, this time I'm gonna cut these little pieces off, since I don't really have a place to tuck them in it. Okay, so there is one arm. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I need another piece here to tie, so let me get that ready first. So again, I need two pieces to tie at the hand and at the armpit. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in thirds. So I fold it there, and then again there. Remember, you can cut that if you want the arm shorter, or do whatever you want. Make sure to always knot it so that it doesn't come loose. Okay, so there's one. Let me do where the hand would be. Okay, and then again, I can cut that off. Okay, so there are my two arms and my head. Okay, so I also have the torso here, this part, the chest, and now I'm gonna go ahead and do the legs. So if you wanted it to be a worry doll with a dress, you could leave it just like that. So this is the one that I did earlier. So again, nice big flowy dress here. You could trim this if you wanted it shorter, whatever you would like. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make it into some legs. So I'm gonna kind of spread this out again. And let me figure out. And at this point, it's kind of gotten all cut up, and that's okay. We just wanna figure out how I can make this into two legs. So I kind of spread out that, what looks like a dress right now, and I'm just gonna cut right up the middle, okay? So I have one leg and I have two legs, and this leg seems a little bit thicker. So let's see if there's a piece I can, yeah, pull over. Okay, so just like the arms, I can either cut these shorter, oops, there's a piece that fell off. Cut these shorter, or I could fold this up to make a shorter leg. So again, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fold it. So I'm gonna fold that bottom part up there, and then I'll need some ties. So I have some tan here. Actually, I don't have enough tan. I'm gonna do the white, the leftover white from my other bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this in half again. Okay, so those will become my ties. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie the bottom of the leg. Again, just like how we did the arm. Oops, if you pull too tight, you'll break your bag like I just did. And then we're gonna knot it. Oh. Oh, I'll come back and knot that one. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna knot up here as well. Actually, I don't like that white. I'm gonna take that off of the top part. I'm gonna use the tan for the top part. You don't see it as much when you tie it. Okay, so there's one leg. I knotted that tan one. I'm going to go ahead and trim those little pieces off. And I need to still knot that white one since I broke it. Let's try to do that. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing to this leg. So I'm going to take this, fold it back. I'm going to tie the top part here with my tan. And then I'll take that white piece. Oops, I keep breaking those white ones. And there you go. And then I'll just trim off the little ends, the tails. And then I have a little bit of fluff here that didn't get tucked away, so I'm just going to cut that off. And there are my two different worry dolls. So these are supposed to resemble the ones from Guatemala, and the legend is that if you have a worry or a concern, that you would tell your worry doll whatever that concern would be. You would put it under your pillow at night, sleep, and then that worry doll gives you the knowledge and wisdom to get over or to fix the worry that you have. So I would love to see whatever you create. There's all sorts of ways that you could do this. If you had yarn or string, I could wrap it around the legs instead of just tying it. Remember, you can use fabric, all sorts of stuff. If you have markers or googly eyes, you could decorate these, but I would love to see what you create. So whatever you make, please send it to me at my email address, which is ashley.toy@fwcs.k12.in.us. Or you can publish it to Artsonia. All those directions you can find on your PowerSchool page. If you have questions, please let me know. Have fun creating. Bye!